All right, welcome everybody. Welcome back. We got another video. Now, as you can probably tell, we got an after-hour call. So we got a walk-in cooler that's down. Now, they wanted to mention that they had a power outage. I'm not sure if that was today though, because we had bad weather a few days ago. I don't know if they would have had the power outage today or the other day, but they just wanted to mention that, so we'll check out their electrical. They have a walk-in cooler that's at 50 degrees, and we're gonna go check that out right now. It's almost 8 in the evening, so hopefully we can get them going, get them up and going, and you know, let's go fix something. All right, so I gotta get back through here. There's my van over there. And we gotta hop up on this roof right over here. Is this scary? All right, guys, so I can't talk like this. So we got a walk-in cooler that's down. Now I went inside and talked to the manager or whoever's in charge right now, and I couldn't record because he followed me into the walk-in and he was chatting with me. So I basically asked him what was going on. They had a power outage last night. He said he only clocked in at 5 today, and that's when he noticed that it was a little bit high, and since it never came down, he put in the request. Condenser's not on, so yeah, nothing's on there, and has one of those efficient evaporators, so the fans are on low speed right now since it's not calling. So I'm gonna double check that we got power and stuff coming up here. So we'll open up this right now, and then from there I'm pretty sure we're gonna have an issue here. If I'm not mistaken, these might even have fuses in here, so let me check that real quick. All right, guys, so we actually have no disconnect. Not cool. So our line just goes straight up here. There's no fuse up here. So we checked there, we got 212 across 1 and 3, 213, and across 2 and 3, 213. So the only other thing is the coil here, which we're not getting any call for that. So this has jumped, and the other one's part of a control. So I gotta check to see what we're not calling. All right, so normally on these, it's all pressure. Walk-in coolers and freezers, well, walk-in coolers more so. It's all about pressure. That controls everything. That's your on and off for everything. So the only red wire that we have coming from a control is the low pressure switch. So we're gonna have to see if we're flat or something. And if we're not, then this might be faulty. You want to know when it sucks using the probes? I hate this setup where they have the two service valves. What the hell? It's not even taped. All right, whatever. When they have the two service valves and the ports are like right next to each other, like how stupid is that? They should be staggered or something. So that's why if you're gonna use probes, make sure you have, you know, like different connections in your bag. Like my troubleshooting bag, I have the long hose to charge with the T, and then I also use a ball valve, so I was able to fit the ball valve adapter on there and then put my probe on there. Now we do have pressure on both sides, enough to trigger it. So this is a suction. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do anything with it. But let me, I'm gonna have to go shut off a breaker. I'm gonna have to where does it come? It's here. So they go in series. So I'm actually gonna have to see which one is bad, because we also have 2 high pressure ones, and we got a temperature sensor, I believe. Yeah, the black. Let me we're gonna have to figure this out real quick before I start cutting any wires. All right, so I did a quick continuity check. We got one end of the discharge sensor, which you can see here, it's over here and it's in line with all the other controls, and then it comes out on red over here. So on the other end we are fine, so there's no controls that are tripped. So then we're supposed to get power right here and from here. All right, since we checked the safeties first, or pressure controls, I'll have to tidy that back up. It leaves us with this. So obviously it's been running or calling this whole time, but when I checked across here, I have power. So this was open and never closed, so we're gonna bypass it for now, and we're gonna do that by pulling off this one. So we'll pull that off completely. Grab the end that was on 3 on the line side and put it direct on the contactor. For now, I will go and get that part for them, and then right now I'm gonna flip on the breaker and see if this turns on. There's no disconnect, so I can't do it up here. All right, so we eliminated the relay, which I will go get tomorrow. And now I'm gonna check for power because the unit has not turned on. And we have pressure. So we have 213 there. And then if I check the coil, we actually have 213. So this contactor, I don't think there's any other safety on it, is not engaging. So let me go get that. 25 amp, 3 pole, 25, 35, and let me go grab one and change that out now, because that is a 208 coil. I can see it. And we have that. So contactor gave out 2, so it probably was a power outage. Let me go grab that real quick. All All right, and we should have that here in my little parts area. So let me grab one right now. Should be this one, 208. We got a 40. I think that's all I'm gonna have right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna have 40, so we'll use it. All right, guys, so we got our part. Super simple. We're just gonna go wire for wire. Make it easy on ourselves here. All right, nice and simple. Wire for wire. So this one should line up the same. So I'm going to do the lines here. Actually, let me start from the bottom. So we got yellow and blue. I use a little flat to nudge it off when they're stuck on there. Just make sure if we bent them, to bend them back. And we're just gonna do this for the rest of them. So that's why sometimes I prefer the flathead to nudge them out, because I broke that one somehow. I don't think it was crimped that well. So that's fine, we repaired that. Just gotta put these wire for wire. Now there's two blacks, so you gotta make sure you put it back the right way. If you don't have them like different colors on each line. So usually if you take pictures, that's the best way. I know I've mentioned that before, but nothing beats going wire for wire if you can. All right, so now I just got to put a couple screws back in the back, and we are all wired up. I'll tidy the safeties back with a zip tie because I don't have any in my bag right now. I gotta go grab one, and we will be back in business hopefully. And then we're gonna get this in the morning. I'll pick one of these up and come back and just put it back on. All right, fans have not sped up, I don't think, but now you can hear the refrigerant. Or at least I can. I don't know if you guys can. It should be pumping. I'm gonna jump back up there. All right, you can hear it. Should be engaged and running, so we're good. The power outage probably caused some electrical issues there. So the only thing I have to come back for is the little relay there, the delay. Everything else is good. So I can take off everything here and start closing everything up. And they got cooling for the night, finishing up, and I'll be back in the morning. All right, welcome back. It's the next day for me, a few seconds for you, but we got the new controller. I had to hunt this down. Not a lot of supply houses have it here. So we're gonna mount it back up. It's the same thing. This one just has a 6-inch wires. It's the only one they had. So gonna mount that and wire it in like we had the original. So we installed it. Now, I'm going by what it says because I think the original one might have been backwards, and I'm assuming it doesn't matter because this is just like a delayed fuse basically. So, well, first of all, we got to cut this little jumper, which is for, because we're using 208, right? So we cut that, and then this is supposed to be the load, so that's the one that I'm feeding the coil to over here after it comes out of the switches. And this is supposed to be the input, the line side. So this is where I'm taking L1 basically and feeding it, because you're feeding L1 back to one side of the coil. Now on the other one it was reversed, but like I said, I'm assuming it doesn't matter because it worked obviously. So nothing fancy here. I put a wire net. I'm gonna, well, I don't think I need to check for voltage. We're gonna turn it back on, make sure the 5-minute delay is working. And I don't think I mentioned it in the video last night, but basically when I went to check this, I had power back on. Obviously I waited for the 5 minutes, and I also set this to the minimum, which is like 30 seconds, I believe. So this is basically just a fuse and it's delayed. So however long you put it is a delay, right? 0.03 minutes to 10 minutes. So then basically, like when I check a fuse, I check across. So if it's closed and it's working, you're basically reading the same line, so you're not going to have any voltage reading on your meter, on your voltmeter. So if you get voltage, that means you have a break in here. So like one side has voltage and the other side doesn't. So no matter how long I waited, even putting it on the minimum, I had voltage, so there was a break and it would not close whatsoever. So this gave out. Relatively cheap part. Took me a while just to find it, but it's a very cheap part. So we put it in there now, and all we got to do is turn it back on. I had just turned it off, so it's going to do the 5-minute delay, and then we just got to make sure after 5 minutes the system comes on. So we just restarted it from the breaker, and I'm gonna time my 5 minutes and then make sure it turns on. And that'll be it for this one. Right now I'll show the manager what we found. And we can get out of here now. I'll just do a quick amp draw and everything turns on also. But everything looked fine, voltage and everything else. And this is a new like 2021 unit cold pack. And to me, that is a tiny compressor. Or just very like thin. I've never seen one like that. I usually work on the short, fat ones, you know. So we got a couple more minutes for the delay, or a minute maybe. Hopefully everything works out fine. Found some shade to sit in. It just turned on. Took an extra like minute or so from what I counted, but that's fine. So let's go check our amps. So we're allowed to run 10 on the compressor and 2 on the fan motor. So we are good. Running at 6. It is satisfied. It just turned on because it was at like 40. Went up to 40 and just turned on. So it's not a hot box. And I'll put some tape on that one real quick. That's it, guys. So not a bad one. And I can get out of here now. That's what this place looks like during the day. So, all right, let's get out of here so I can talk to the manager. And yeah, like I said, this was, I think it has a manufacture date of like April 2021, and we're October right now. I don't see any issues with the unit itself. But if they have any major repairs that they need done, I'm gonna tell them I'm gonna put a disconnect in that thing, because I hate when they don't have a way of turning off power, killing power to the condensing unit when you're on the roof. It's not that bad. I mean, you know, my ladder's right there and then the breakers are in the back, but still, I don't know. I usually put breakers on everything. I mean, disconnects. Or who knows, I'll recommend it and maybe they'll approve it, and it's something I can do for them.